Hello everybody, CW here. It's like Christmas. I ordered all this stuff, so it's not like anybody sent this to me, and it's I just wanted to share with you because I've had some pretty good luck with this stuff, and I know I'm late to the party. A lot of you have been shooting it for a long time, but I haven't been able to get it. I remember seeing it a couple times at Cabela's, but I don't know of any local shop who carries it at all. And I'm in a lot of them, and I have been in a lot of them for a long time, but I never bought it. This stuff I never saw. This is the match version. I went to Norma Direct and ordered a brick of each of these. So I'm anxious to really anxious to try this one. This one here, I've got a few boxes that I had bought previous orders, Midway or whatever, and just stocking up. This stuff here is just a really good ammo that I found. It's really accurate. It really shoots really good in my 1022 Kid, and it's 42 grain, high velocity, but it's not really fast. I think it's under 12. See if it says it on here somewhere. I looked it up. No, it doesn't say, but it's under 12, so it's not really fast high velocity. And a lot of the other stuff we shoot, Ely and such, is running at 1100. So it's really only a little bit faster, but it is a 42 grain bullet instead of a 40. So there is that. But just a stock up. And this one here they were running out of. I wanted a brick of this, but they were running out of it, so I could only get 2 boxes. This is Match Extra, and this is, for me, this has been a little bit better than the other one, whatever it is, whatever it's called. I can never remember. Anyway, this is quite a bit more. It's almost twice more. So just a couple boxes. And then over here we got, this is a mixed project kind of video. This here is from Sage's Outdoors, which is the company I get all my gas checks from when I buy them. Put that over here in my pile. They got really good packaging. This was a sample. These are 416 gas checks, and the diameter is such that they could work on some 41 and 44, and I wanted to try them. I think they're a little big for 10 millimeter, but I got to measure them. But that's my need. I need 10 millimeter gas checks, and I haven't been able to find them. But I do have a gas check maker coming from Matson Machine. So watch for those videos coming. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff with those. What Sage's did have was some of these plane-based gas checks. Now these are just aluminum sheet or something very thin, very light. They look like bottle tops because they're all crinkly around the edges. But they're not like a regular gas check. They function the same way, but they're made for a plane-based bullet. So a lot of you probably have watched my short that I just did. It's getting really great traction. It's got over 6,000 views in just a couple days. So thank you immensely, guys. But I was going to get a plane-based gas check maker, and I still may, but we'll see how this goes. But not being able to find a regular gas check, I just decided to just try these on a bullet that's designed for regular gas check. And they're fine. They go right on. They should be just fine. So we'll see. But gives me some options, and options are good. They're not very expensive at all. So that's what this is. Grab those. Hold on to that box. And then over here, this one here has a story. And this is a poo-poo on the Federal Mail System. You guys really dropped the ball on this one. So this is, I bought this from a guy on a forum. Don't know who he is, but he turns out to be a really nice guy. I know who he is now. His name is Peter, but I blacked out his last name and his address. And he's on the Graybeards forum, which I've been a member of for, like, I don't know, almost 20 years. And good bunch of guys over there. Anyway, this is Nosler AccuBonds 125 grain, which hasn't been available or easily found, or when you do find them, they're very expensive. And he had a fair price. There's just shy of 100 of them in here, 2 boxes. So middle of last month, we were talking back and forth, and I decided to buy them. So I sent him money. He got them right in the mail really quick. That was about, I don't know, I didn't look at the exact date of the start. I probably should have, because I'm going to complain and I should have the exact dates I'm complaining about. But let's just say it was the 20th or 24th, something like that, of June. He mailed this. And I will say it was mailed from Minnesota. So not next door, but, you know, middle of the country. And of course, I'm over on the East Coast in New England. I'm in Connecticut. So, I mean, I don't believe Minnesota area, middle of the country, makes anything slower. The only slow parts that I've seen for me to get packages is Tennessee, Michigan, and Texas. Any of those three, really, really slow. Now, if this had to go through Michigan, I don't know. But I don't believe I saw Michigan listed as a stopover. This went, again, I should have looked before the video, but it went close to Minnesota. And then it went to Virginia. I don't ever have packages go to Virginia. There's no reason to go to Virginia. They usually come into the hub in Massachusetts. That's where the close destination is for every package I've ever tracked in the past, 10 years of watching this stuff. And then when it gets to Massachusetts, sometimes I'll have it the next day. Most of the time within 2 days of getting to Massachusetts. Depends on when it comes in. It comes in first thing in the morning in Massachusetts. Generally, it can get out before the end of the day, and I may have it the next day, no problem. If it drags a day because of whatever, it'll be 2 days later. But it eventually got to Massachusetts, I want to say a couple, 3 days later, which isn't awful. But then it went to Virginia. And from Virginia, it went to North Carolina. And it bounced back and forth between Greensboro and Roanoke for like 10 or 12 days. Like a ping pong ball, back and forth and back and forth. The seller was really good, communicated to me great. I went to my postmaster. They said there was nothing they could do because I wasn't the shipper. The shipper had to initiate any kind of callback, problem, stop it, whatever they had to do. But if it got local, my postmaster could do something. Like if it got to my post office and was shipped away, he could do something. But it never even got into the state of Connecticut to be logged. So there was nothing we could do. And you look at the box, I mean, it's banged up, but it's in pretty good shape. And, it's bullets, so it's durable. There's no holes. There's no nothing. I find nothing here wrong, but I see a sticker on here. Now, I blocked it out just for privacy. But if you look close, you can see a different color black line there. And this one is harder to see, but there's another one there. So somebody took a black marker and purposely blocked out the ends of this barcode. Well, this barcode is what the computer uses to track this package in the system. It doesn't read my address. There's no person that reads my address. It has to be put in a person's hands to use the address, return address, or shipping address. It reads this scan. So every time it goes up a conveyor belt, there's all these scanners all around. So no matter which way this is turned or laying, the scanner can read this. Well, because somebody blacked those out at the post office, I assume, or one of the shipping hubs, but still the post office, still the post system, that fudged it up. I know it did. Because even when my postman came to deliver this tonight, he scanned it and scanned it and scanned it. He was standing on my front porch for 3 or 4 minutes, scanning it. He said, I can't scan this. I just called my supervisor. I said, well, I know what it is. I know where it is, and it is me. And I showed him ID, and because he wasn't my regular guy. Showed him ID, and everything was fine. He said, yeah, it's your address, but... And so I told him the story, and he apologized, but I said, thanks for that, but you didn't do it, I know what caused it. Some Yahoo with a magic marker caused all this nonsense. Why they did it, I have no idea. But, there's these on every box. Now, I don't know if this is specific to this box or it's printed on there and it's the same for all of them. But I've had the postal people get mad at me for covering these up. So I don't know. Anyway, here it is. Pete, if you're watching this, thanks very much. It finally made it. Our nonsense is over. I want to open it up and we'll take a look at it here together. I'm sure it's fine. Like I said, it's Nosler bullets, and you know, they're not going to be affected by a shipping box, and they're even in the factory boxes, so all the better. They're even better, and that's exactly what I ordered. That's exactly what he sent me. 2 boxes, one full and one partial. This is a sealed box, and this is a partial one. It says 47, so there's 50 in a box, and there they are. 125 grain Nosler AccuBonds, and I wanted these specifically for the 300 hammer. I want to work up some hunting loads, and I want a good bullet. I've had good luck with the Sierra 125 Pro Hunter, and I've had good luck with the Game Changer, but the Game Changer is long. That green plastic tip is in the profile. It's long, so it takes up powder capacity, and I'm hoping that this is not going to be the case with this AccuBond. But I've read and talking with Dave, you grind it off. And for the ballistics that we're talking about and what we're using the cartridge in, the fact that it's a flat point bullet, number one, it's plastic. It doesn't hurt the weight because it's infinitesimal and, you know, the amount we're removing. And number two, ballistically, we're shooting inside 300 yards, most time inside 200 yards. A flat point makes no difference. There's no ballistic inferiority to any, you know, a perfect round nose is not ballistically inferior appreciably inside a couple hundred yards. So, you know, grinding this tip off, because we're limited to 2.26, you know, for the magazine, AR magazines, that'll gain you a lot. So that's something I may do. But, you know, we all know what the AccuBonds are. You've probably been watching my video on the 35 Whelen and how I want to get that AccuBond to shoot in the 225. So we're going to be using these AccuBonds in the 300 black, in the 300 hammer, and probably going to be going north of 2,500. So that should be good with this bullet. I'm hoping I don't have expansion problems. I don't believe I will. The AccuBonds I've never experienced them to be hard to expand or you know, a problem bullet that way, too tough. But in my 35 Whelen video, Triple Beards is one of my viewers, and I've talked to him on forums before. He was complaining that I don't remember the weight. I want to say 180 30 caliber, and it was like a 300 SOM rum, the Remington Magnum 300. I think that was what it was. He said he's had them zip right through deer and not expand. Now that was a heavier bullet, but it was an AccuBond, and I've never heard that. I've never experienced that myself. But, you know, all truth, I haven't shot many animals with AccuBonds, just a few, and everything I've read about them is really, really good. And I believe it's the same tapered jacket that they use in the other bullets in the line. The claim to fame is it's bonded, you know, the lead is bonded, glued, lack of a better term, to the jacket so that it doesn't spit its core. It holds its core when it expands, where a regular cup and core bullet is prone to spitting the lead out. Now, that's just the way they are, especially boat tails. Nosler made a bullet for years before the ballistic tip, and it was notorious for spitting its core. Sierras are bad for spitting their cores. Hornady's are better because they've got that interlock. They got that little band on the inside that holds the lead in. But if you expand past that, it'll spit the core out too. This stops that. So, you know, I've always said it's laughable that they make a 30-30 partition, because the 30-30 doesn't have enough performance to warrant the need for a partition bullet. I've never heard of a 30-30 over expanding a 150 or a 170 grain bullet. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't get it going fast enough. But people know the name and they want the performance. They use a partition in their 3006 or the 300 Magnum, so they want one in their 3032. And hey, this is America. That's great. It's going to make Nosler more money. It's going to make them make more products. That's all the more power for everybody. But, I like to think I'm on the ball with that, and there's just no reason. You're wasting your money buying partitions at a 3030. Use the partitions where they're designed. They're designed to be not overexpand. And if you can't push your bullet fast enough to overexpand, you don't need a partition. It's made for the magnums or close range with calibers that have enough velocity to cause the bullet to expand down and lose enough weight that it affects the performance of the bullet. When you're talking about cartridges like the 3030, the 300 black, or the 300 hammer, you're not talking about a cartridge that produces enough velocity and energy to overexpand its bullets when they're in the general weight design for that cartridge. So you throw a 110 in the hammer, and absolutely you can. A 110 in the 300 black, most of the time it's okay, but some designs it can be overexpanded, like I found with that 125 flat point hollow point Sierra. Definitely overexpand that one. The 130 and 135 grain Sierra hollow point boat tail Game Kings, not Game Kings, varmint. The varmint bullets, definitely you can overexpand those. Definitely on big game, even at the lower 300 black velocities. But this one should be no problem. And the ballistic tip has been really good, but this is better. So anyway, I've drawn it out talking about bullets, and it was supposed to just be a look what I got kind of video, because this has been bouncing around since the 22nd, 23rd of last month. And as I make this video, what is today? The 14th, 13th, 14th, something like that. So it's, it's been 20 days, and that's just silly stupid. Look forward to seeing these two out of the Ruger Precision. These will probably come out of the Marlin. That's what likes these. And these are coming out of the Ruger 1022. So lots of stuff coming up. You'll see more videos on these. I believe the die shipped or is shipping soon from Matson Machine. So we'll have videos on that. And that's a gas check maker conventional. So we'll make videos on that. We'll try these out. I've got some other 41 Magnum checks that we can try on some bullets and see how those work. But there we go. So lots of stuff on the horizon. Oh, I also got, I might as well show it to you. These came in first thing this morning. These are Tally one-piece aluminum rings and bases. And if you look on here, it says Savage with AccuTrigger. But the number 730, 725 is 30 millimeter low for the Ruger American Gen 1, Gen 2. So that's what this is for. These are for the Ruger American 400 Legend. We're going to put that Monstrum MPVO 2 to 10. Going to go in these rings on that rifle. So that came in. Good stuff. Today is like Christmas. All right. I haven't said it in a while, but I want to remind everybody, let those people in your life who you love and care for, let them know you love and care for them. Because today is a gift. That's why it's called a present. You never know what tomorrow brings. It's no guarantee. God bless everybody. CW out.